Yeah. Good to see you. Oh, we got. Well, we got to do some praise. Dion, she's mine. Hey, Dion. And Jordan, I don't talk to him. I do too.
I'm old enough to remember the last time we had an exciting quarterback called the Cowboys when they came up. Have you guys gone through that scenario if there was an exciting quarterback like, say, Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders there at 12?
Yeah, well, we've got a major commitment with Dak, and so you weigh all of that. And but I was going to add to this whole conversation. It's very often that somebody will step up and say, "Now we got this guy right here. We've got him."
Jerry Jones doesn't just own the Cowboys, he owns the spotlight. Every move he makes, every word he says, becomes the headline before the ink on the game stats even dries. And now the whispers are louder than ever. Jerry Jones is plotting, scheming, circling a new name. A name that has already turned heads and cracked open hope, where hope had been buried for years. Shedeur Sanders, the rookie quarterback who walked into Cleveland and somehow made the unthinkable happen. Fans who had forgotten what belief even felt like suddenly started dusting it off. They watched a kid step into chaos, and not just survive, but thrive. Calm in the pocket, sharp throws, composure that didn't look like a rookie. It looked like a franchise. For a moment,
so why don't you talk?
Again, nothing would be that, and we might or might not talk. And the rest of that gets in what we do every day.
Think that talks would pick up a little bit with him?
I don't know that necessarily talks will, but we've got a game coming. And
Cleveland believed they had stumbled into something they hadn't seen in decades. A quarterback they could actually trust. But Jerry Jones doesn't watch from a distance. He doesn't let stories unfold without inserting himself. He treats the NFL like Broadway, and every promising star like a script rewrite waiting to happen. Shedeur wasn't just a quarterback to Jerry. He was the perfect storm. Young, marketable, magnetic. Jerry doesn't see him as just another player. He sees him as an empire in cleats, a brand that could stretch far beyond the hash marks.
9th hardest schedule this season, and the Cowboys have the 10th. That's where we're headed now. The public saga continues between Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons as the team has not gotten any closer to reaching a new contract since Micah requested a trade on August 1st. Here's Jerry's latest comments on Micah.
This is Jerry's obsession, his addiction. He doesn't just chase wins, he chases immortality. He wants to be the man who turns the Cowboys not just into America's team, but into the world's team. And Shedeur, with that name, that arm, that bloodline, feels like the ticket. The whispers say Jerry is already moving in the shadows. Quiet dinners, anonymous sources, back channels that feel more like a spy novel than a football negotiation. He can't make a straight call. That would be tampering. But when has Jerry ever cared about lines or rules? He's been bending the game since before half the league's coaches even had their first headset. What makes it even juicier is the day-on connection. Primetime and Jerry Jones. A duo that once electrified Dallas still share a bond. Dion doesn't even need to make a hard sell. Just the hint of his son's name in conversation is enough to flip a switch in Jerry's mind. Suddenly, this isn't about Dak Prescott's contract, or the Cowboys' brutal schedule, or even the growing drama with Micah Parsons. This is about empire building. Jerry has been activated. And when Jerry's activated, the NFL shakes. Imagine the Cowboys' star helmet with Shedeur under it. Jerry does. Imagine the jersey sales, the cameras, the Netflix documentaries. He doesn't picture a quarterback reading defenses. He pictures a quarterback on billboards from Dallas to Dubai, and he'll do anything to make it real. Reports suggest he's already floated trade ideas so outrageous they'd make the Herschel Walker deal look like a bargain bin swap. Multiple first-rounders, starters, cap space gymnastics, even whispers about hiring Dion himself as head coach, just to lock the whole Sanders brand under the Dallas banner.
gonna hire primetime Shedeur Sanders as a head coach. That would be crazy.
Whoa.
Is Jerry Jones crazy enough to do something like that someday?
No, but he does know how to spell well enough and not answer a hypothetical question.
Outrageous? Absolutely. But if there's one thing Jerry has proved, it's that outrageous is his comfort zone. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, the miracle is cracking. The front office is already splitting in two. One half sees Shedeur as the savior, the piece they've been begging for. They want to protect him, build around him, give him the foundation to finally break the cycle of disappointment. The other half, they see dollar signs. They see licensing deals, ticket sales, national relevance. The Browns, of all teams, suddenly imagining themselves as a marketing juggernaut. Coaches whisper about development. Executives whisper about revenue. And Shedeur, the actual quarterback, is caught in the middle of it.
Does this surprise you guys that Shedeur Sanders, pick number 144, is now the best-selling jersey of the draft class?
No, and this is why he's going to be a Cleveland Brown. I think he's going to be on the roster no matter what. Because at the end of the day, I do think he has a safe floor at quarterback, but those type of things, moving the needle, moving dollars around and being relevant as a...
Just trying to play the game. But Jerry doesn't rush. He doesn't need it today or tomorrow. He plays the long game. He waits for an opening, a contract dispute, an injury, a front office slip. And when that moment comes, he pounces. Because in his mind, Shedeur isn't just a quarterback. He's the prodigal prince who could carry the Cowboys dynasty into eternity. Forget Dak. Forget playoff disappointment. Forget decades of frustration. Jerry sees Shedeur as the bridge to immortality. And he's willing to set the NFL on fire to get him. The irony is brutal. Dallas isn't built to nurture quarterbacks. It's built to chew them up. The spotlight in Texas is heavier than any pass rush. One interception, and the local media will paint you as a bust before the ball even hits the turf. Jerry knows this. He's seen it happen. He's fueled it. And yet he still believes he can pull the strings. He believes Shedeur Sanders could walk into the circus and not just survive, but command it. That belief isn't football logic, it's Jerry logic. And Jerry logic has never played by the rules of the game. What's wild is how much of this already feels like theater. Tampering whispers drift through the league like smoke.
Guess what? Guys get hurt. So you bet your whole house that you got him, and then all of a sudden you don't have him. So that's when your old mind starts saying, well, if this guy did get hurt, what would we do this year?
Anonymous insiders leak stories about mysterious meetings. Third-party voices suddenly start appearing in Dallas, whispering Shedeur's name in the right places, at the right dinners. Everyone pretends it's coincidence. Nobody believes it's coincidence. The NFL hates this kind of chaos. They want trades neat, sanitized, wrapped up in press releases. Jerry's version looks more like a Bond movie. Private rooms, quiet nods, favors exchanged in shadows. The league can fine him, investigate him, slap his wrist. Jerry doesn't care. He'll just spin it as the NFL trying to muzzle his genius. Because Jerry doesn't see rules. He sees speed bumps. And the crazy part, he feeds on this controversy. The Cowboys don't even have to win to dominate headlines. All they need is noise, and Jerry knows exactly how to make it. Add Shedeur into the mix, and suddenly the Cowboys don't just own the spotlight, they become the spotlight. Every game, every snap, every mistake, every miracle would be broadcast like scripture. Shedeur would be thrown into a storm bigger than anything he's faced, and Jerry would stand in the center of it, smiling like the ringmaster of his own circus. Cleveland, meanwhile, is unraveling under the pressure. Coaches want to focus on football, but executives can't stop seeing dollar bills. They're torn between loyalty and ambition, between the safe path and the blockbuster payday.
Too many drives. You don't give it to him? Come on, man, make it make sense. They don't want that boy in Cleveland. We know they don't want him in Cleveland. They do it. Now, that's dirty. That's 2 L's they got to hold. Right? He did, but come on, man. You don't want, like he said, though, they don't want to have a quarterback controversy. That's cute and all. But nah, you got to get to the smoke. But, it's a silver lining in all this in the end for your boy. I think, personally, this is my take, and this is going to blow your mind. He's going to end up with Jerry Jones in Dallas. Why, you say? Jerry loves
Some insiders even whisper that the Browns might actually consider listening if Jerry waves enough picks and enough money. They've never been good at unity, never been good at stability. And Jerry thrives on weakness. He knows if he waits long enough, the cracks in Cleveland's foundation will widen into gaps he can exploit. The Browns could become his unwitting pawn in a bigger game.
Parsons trade have me confused. We all know Jerry Jones is in the media way too much, but him coming out saying essentially we got rid of Micah Parsons because we need to stop the run. Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, now Russell Wilson. Some of the top quarterbacks in the NFL in your division. So you got to stop the run, but...
And Shedeur, the rookie just trying to prove himself, would become the centerpiece in Jerry's last great heist. The weight on Shedeur is impossible to ignore. On the surface, he plays it cool. Practice, meetings, game prep, business as usual, but deep down, he knows what's happening. He can feel it. Once Jerry Jones puts your name on his vision board, your life is no longer normal. Suddenly, every throw feels heavier. Every rumor about trades and meetings makes its way into the locker room. Teammates start whispering, fans start speculating, media starts circling like sharks. It's not just football anymore, it's Shakespeare in cleats. Jerry Jones, the aging king desperate for one last act to cement his legend. Shedeur Sanders, the prodigal prince carrying the weight of legacy and expectation. Cleveland, the fractured kingdom, torn between hope and greed. It's not a game, it's a drama, and everyone's playing a role whether they like it or not. The story writes itself, but the ending? That part is still wide open. Maybe Jerry pulls it off, unleashes the most outrageous trade in modern NFL history, and puts Shedeur in a star helmet. Maybe Cleveland grows a backbone for once and locks down their franchise quarterback, refusing to be bullied into chaos. Maybe the NFL steps in, drops the hammer, and shuts Jerry's circus down before the tent can even be raised. But here's the thing, Jerry doesn't stop. He doesn't back down. He doesn't accept no. He waits, he plots, he pushes until he gets what he wants. And what he wants right now is Shedeur Sanders. Not because of scheme, not because of need, but because Jerry Jones is chasing something bigger than football. He's chasing immortality. He wants to be remembered as the owner who changed everything, who turned a team into a religion, who made the Cowboys bigger than the game itself. And in his mind, Shedeur Sanders is the key. That's why this isn't just another rumor. It's the kind of storm that could shake the NFL to its core. Because when Jerry Jones sets his sights on you, it's never just business, it's destiny.